Hello again, another morning. It's Monday, and here I am again in the work parking lot, ready to do another video for you. Things that I think about, things that I come up with, especially when I'm driving. And today, first, I want to ask you to like and subscribe. Please share and follow my channel. I am going to be posting these. I've been posting them daily. But at least a few times a week. So please follow along and share. Today I wanted to talk about inflation, gas prices, all the things that are on people's minds these days. And they've been on people's minds for a pretty long time. They're sources of contention. People are very angry about inflation and gas prices and the rising cost of housing. This country, after COVID, after 2020, everything just went haywire. It's like all the businesses were shut down for COVID. Everybody bounced back and said, we have to charge more and we have to do shrinkflation because we don't want to go out of business. And so restaurants and all these businesses convinced us that we needed to pay more to get them up and rolling again. Well, it's 2024 and here we are. We have never lost the inflation, and it's not just about COVID either. There are a lot of political things going on. There are a lot of things going on in our money systems, and things in the world are just changing. We have ended up with high prices and wages that aren't keeping up with prices, which means that we are in a time of inflation. I was kind of looking back in history, and I was digging a little bit into other times, other eras, and other times in my lifetime and in my parents' lifetime when there was inflation, when there were recessions, when the Great Depression. That was a different scenario, but there have been hard times in people's lives. Let me just put it that way. People through the generations have had prosperous times and good times where everything was affordable and everybody was rolling along and living life large. And then people have also hit ditches and economic bad times when things were not so great. So that has happened in history several times, many times over. The question that I have is, what are we going to do about it? I mean, we can complain about it. We can be mad about it. We can go to battle with each other over it and why it happened and who to vote out and what to do and politics. And, there are all kinds of things that we can do and protest and say. But what can we do? What can we do about inflation and high prices for ourselves, for our families, right now, today? And I'm just going to offer up a suggestion because I've been through times of hardship and I've been through times of prosperity. And I can tell you that, yes, the prosperous times are easier because everything just kind of flows. The money's coming in, the bills are paid, and you get to have what you want. And that's the key right there. In prosperous times, we get used to having what we want. And a lot of people have said, and this is really horrible to even say, but a lot of people have said we need another depression, another Great Depression, to get some of these spoiled people off the mentality that we should just have and nothing but have, because it does create a mindset where, we just become entitled, and that happens. We get used to having everything we want when we want it. And it creates a sense of entitlement. And nobody really wants a Great Depression. I don't think anybody wants to go to war in the United States. I don't think anybody wants to have something so drastic happen to shock us into the reality of going back to conserving things. But I think that we can do that without having to go through the trauma. I really do. And I think that the key to battling inflation and battling the high prices and low wages is to just reduce. I did it. My son did it. My roommates have done it. I have friends who have done it. I've lived with plenty. I've had a house full of furniture, full of all my decorations and stuff. full of all the clothes I wanted. And, you know, when I was raising my kids in the early 2000s, life was good. We were making good money and we had a nice house with lots of stuff. And was I any happier than I am now? No. They say that even people who are stars, like Beyonce and Jay-Z, and people who are rich and have millions and millions and sometimes a billion or more, it doesn't necessarily make them happy. Just because they can have everything they want, that doesn't bring happiness. Look at Justin Bieber. He's posted, you know, plenty of videos, and he's got channels. He's written songs about his loneliness and about how he feels on the inside, that having all this money and everything that you could possibly want does not bring peace on the inside. So what does bring peace on the inside? I think, you know, peace has to be found from within. I follow my other videos, watch my other videos. I talk a lot about inner peace. I talk a lot about how to find peace. But mostly what I wanted to talk about was just ditching the material things and ditching the debt and getting rid of the idea, the mindset that we should have what we want, when we want it, go where we want, and just start to reduce. It's a thought that people in this day and age, you know, when you tell somebody to reduce, they're like, no, I can't even imagine doing that, because we're so accustomed. Whenever somebody divorces, they say, you know, they went off and live the lifestyle in which they have become accustomed to, and we're so accustomed to having these things. But I'm telling you something, that when you downsize, a lot of people are living the van life. A lot of people are living the tiny home life. A lot of people are getting rid of all the stuff in their garage and all the stuff in their house and reducing the size of their house, moving into smaller spaces. A lot of people are realizing what becoming a minimalist means internally and what that does internally. And, you know, I did it slowly. We sold our big house with all the stuff when our kids were grown. I moved into a smaller condo, still had the stuff in the condo. I sold all that a few years ago, moved into a furnished place where I just had my own personal belongings. And then I got rid of a lot of those things. I have my clothes, basically. I have my clothes and my few, like a little nightstand, a little dresser with some personal things in it. And that's what I have now. I gave away my kitchen stuff. I gave away my, you know, all my gadgets and all my stuff. I gave away my decorations and furniture and all this stuff. Now, when I say furniture, I live in a place that's furnished, yes, but you can find furnished apartments. You can live in rentals. I live in a rental. I have roommates. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying that everybody can do this. If you have a family, it's a lot easier for some people to do this than others. I'm an empty nester, so I don't have the responsibility of children. That I'm not raising children right now. So yes, when you're raising your children, you want to place a garage for the bikes, and you want, you know, them to have things in a nice setting to come home to after school. And I understand that. I'm not saying that everybody has to do this. However, there are so many creative ways to reduce. There are so many ways to get rid of stuff. If you are an empty nester or a college student, somebody just graduating from college, you can have roommates. Roommates, you know, sometimes living with people is annoying and sometimes it's great. There are positives and minuses to both. I've lived on my own and felt like I was alone, and I've lived with people and felt annoyed that there were people. But there are good things about being alone and having solitude. And there are good things about having roommates and fun people in your life and things to do with them. So it's all a matter of mindset, really. If you decide to downsize and you start to reduce and you start to decide that, hey, I'm just going to I'm going to unload some of these things. I can tell you that I went from having, you know, I had debt, I had credit card debt, I was buying things on Amazon, I was filling my world with things, and I went from that to, you know, I pay under $1,000 to live now. I have no credit card debt. And I don't want you to think I'm bragging. I'm not bragging. I'm trying to help anybody who's thinking about doing this. If anybody's thinking about downsizing, reducing, becoming a minimalist, I'm just letting you know that I did it, and it didn't hurt me. But I did it in stages. And then once I was finally ready to get rid of most of my stuff, I feel free now. I really do. I feel free to travel. I have roommates. I do have a cat, and my roommates watch my cat if I travel. I do work every day and I make money, but a lot of that goes into savings. Most of that doesn't go into debts or bills. It goes into savings. I am able to, I have a grocery budget. I don't eat like a queen. I eat to nourish myself and to get the nutrients that I need, and I don't gorge myself with extra snacks. I'm very conservative in what I spend and what I buy. I had a cold a few weeks ago. I bought some cold medicine. Hey, I can buy cold medicine, but I didn't go overboard with filling my whole entire closet filled with, full of the full pharmacy, which is what I probably would have done in the past just because I could. So anyway, it is really liberating to get rid of material things. It's very liberating to pay off your debt, pay off your car, pay off your credit cards, pay off your debt, and don't have a bunch of bills that you owe every month. It's freeing. It makes you feel free. I feel light, and I don't miss any of the stuff that I got rid of. When I look at pictures of my old place and all my decorations, I look at it and say, oh, that was beautiful. I remember that. Yeah, it was a nice setting. But over time, when I lived in that house, I would come and go and kind of just, my mind stopped appreciating the paintings that I had on the walls and the flower vases that I had on the tables and things like that. I did appreciate my house, and I appreciated the beautiful, setting, but I also spent a lot of time out of the house and ignoring those beautiful things that I had spent my lifetime acquiring. So now that I don't have much, my room is comfortable. I have a nice fluffy comforter, and I have, a nice little lamp, and it's decorated cute, and it's very cozy. So you can make yourself comfortable with a lot of items, or you can make yourself comfortable with very few items. There are people who live in their van or live in a tiny home who just love their space. That's their happy place. And your happy place is wherever your heart is. So anyway, I just wanted to put this out there because I wanted to encourage anybody who's thinking about downsizing. I wanted to let you know that it is okay, that the material things are not what made me happy. What makes me happy in life are people and just a comfortable setting. You can create a comfortable setting anywhere without things. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That's it for today. And I hope you're all having a great day. I will see you next time.